The Omicron variant on the rise in Europe, where it's leading to new restrictions and new protests, and here in the United States, where there's a dire warning for the unvaccinated this holiday season. Also, Hong Kong is voting right now for their legislative council, but there's a catch. Only pro-Beijing patriots can run. Live from CNN World Headquarters in Atlanta, welcome to all of you watching us here in the United States, Canada, and around the world. I'm Kim Brunhuber. This is CNN Newsroom.
Live from CNN Center, this is CNN Newsroom with Kim Brunhuber.
The growing threat of Omicron is forcing governments around the world to take quick action to stop the spread.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me this Sunday. I'm Frederica Whitfield. We begin with the desperate search to find survivors after a swarm of powerful tornadoes ripped through 8 states. Entire towns leveled in the blink of an eye as the storms swept through Friday night. Officials say one single tornado carved a path of destruction more than 200 miles long.
All right, it is Thursday, November 4th. It's 5 a.m. in New York. Thanks for getting an early start with us. I'm Christine Romans.
And I'm Laura Jarrett. Welcome to our viewers in the United States and all around the world. We begin this morning with breaking news overnight.
All right, welcome to our viewers in the United States and all around the world. I'm John Berman. Brianna is off. Erica Hill with me this morning. On this new day, Omicron in America. New York City seeing a huge spike in cases, but some hopeful signs as well. Senator Joe Manchin puts a nail in the Build Back Better coffin, seeming to kill the president's signature domestic policy bill. The White House with a new scathing response.
A Republican plan to block President Biden from seating a Supreme Court justice if they take back power in the midterms, the new CNN reporting ahead. And swinging into theaters on the record books, Spider-Man shatters the pandemic-era slump at the box office.
All right, we do begin with breaking news. Moderna announced just moments ago that its preliminary data suggests its COVID-19 booster.
We are always so grateful to have you with us. Welcome to New Day. It's Saturday, December 4th. I'm Christy.
Good morning, Christy. Great to be with you. I'm Boris Sanchez. We begin with the fugitive parents of the suspect in the Oxford High School shooting. Now,
the Champions League resumes with a feast of goals, 5 of them in Madrid, with Jurgen Klopp celebrating what he called a dirty win. How a classic slice of Messi magic rescued Paris Saint-Germain, and star displays from Stefan Yanis as the new NBA season tips off. Hello.
Live from New York, I'm Julia Chatterley. This is First Move, and here's your need to know. Mark's Meta move, Facebook reportedly planning a new name and a rebrand. Squid surge, Netflix gets its tentacles into more subscribers. And Ma or Mirage, Alibaba's shares jump after the founder is seen in Spain. It's Wednesday, let's make a move. Welcome once again to First Move this Wednesday, where we see something very fishy going on in the global.
The last best chance. The COP26 climate meeting is underway. President Joe Biden says there will be a lot of ground to make up for major emitters who are noticeably absent. Whatever commitments are made in Glasgow for the Venice of Africa, it is too little, too late. Senegal's coastline being eaten away by the effects of climate change. Plus, sheer relief and happiness. Australian families finally reunited after being stranded abroad throughout the pandemic. I'm Becky Anderson. Hello and welcome to Connect the World. Well, it's now or never.
Hello, I'm Linda Kincaid, live at the CNN headquarters here in Atlanta, and this is One World. And we begin with the first major commitment to come out of the COP26 climate summit.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Amanpour. Here's what's coming up.
Hello.
Добрый день.
Good to see you again.
High stakes as Presidents Biden and Putin hold crucial talks. Is Russia really planning to invade Ukraine? And if so, what will dissuade him? Then,
to create a future that works, we must work together.
Building practical utopias. The queen of the dystopian novel shifts her focus to a society we would want to live in. Booker Prize winner Margaret Atwood joins me. Plus,
the very first time I heard the word Oxycontin, my son was laying in his bed dead from it.
The harrowing impact of the opioid epidemic. Hari Srinivasan speaks to victims advocate Ed Bish about losing his son, and Beth Macy, author of Dope Sick. Welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Christiane Amanpour in London. With the spectre of war...
Hello, everyone. Live from CNN London, I'm Hala Gorani. Tonight, U.S. President Biden and Ukraine's President Zelensky speak as fears continue of a Russian invasion. We'll have more on that call between the two men. Then renewed anger at the British Prime Minister today. His government now faces questions over 3 Christmas parties allegedly held during lockdown last year. And later, a fresh warning from the WHO over the spread of the Omicron variant. We'll have those details shortly in the program. After sounding the alarm about threats to democracy worldwide, the American president, Joe Biden.
It's a bumper day for U.S. stocks. The Dow's on track for its best day this year, up more than 600 points. Those are the markets, and these are the main events. The United States freezes out China with a diplomatic boycott of Beijing's Winter Olympics. African countries are calling it travel apartheid as the UK changes its entry rules. I'll speak to the Nigerian High Commissioner. And New York businesses say they were blindsided by a sweeping new vaccine mandate. Live from New York, it's Monday, December the 6th. I'm Allison Cossack, and this is Quest Means Business. Good evening. The White House says no more business as usual. U.S. diplomats will be skipping next year's Winter Olympics in Beijing.
Kentucky's governor tells us an emergency crews would be going door to door, only in so many places there are no doors. The lead starts right now. The destruction is shocking. The story's heartbreaking. One town almost entirely demolished after tornadoes ripped through 8 states and hundreds of miles as the scope of the destruction is only beginning to emerge. Mark Meadows, Trump's former chief of staff, now allegedly saying that the National Guard would be on standby on January 6 to protect the pro-Trump people. The potential bombshell of an email in the Capitol riot probe. Plus, winter is coming. ICUs maxing out again. Hospitalizations among children reaching record highs. Are we in for another long, cold COVID winter? Welcome to the lead. I'm Jake Tapper, and we start with the national lead today. The heartbreaking, unimaginable loss of life and destruction from tornadoes that tore through 8 states.
Tonight on The Brief, President Trump publicly says China, as well as Ukraine, should help investigate his political opponent. More than 30 people dead in violent protests, while Iraqis are furious at their leaders. Boris Johnson proposes his new Brexit plan. What's different and why the EU is sceptical. Live from London, I'm Bianca Nobilo, and welcome to the show. We begin with a twist in the impeachment inquiry into Donald Trump that almost no one saw coming.
Happening now, red flags. The White House tries to downplay revelations that ousted National Security Advisor Michael Flynn was acting as a registered foreign agent while he was advising Mr. Trump during the campaign. Did Flynn disclose that information while his security clearance was being vetted? Ready to answer. New hints that FBI Director James Comey may be preparing to publicly counter President Trump's claim that he was wiretapped by President Obama. Tonight, the White House is refusing to say if Mr. Trump will apologize if his allegation is officially debunked. Eyewitness accounts, harrowing new details about the U.S. raid in Yemen that killed dozens of civilians as well as an American Navy SEAL. How does the information square with the president's claim that the mission was a success? And job growth. The White House is giving the president credit for a new drop in the unemployment rate. Why does Mr. Trump believe the government's numbers now when he once called them phony? We want to welcome our viewers in the United States and around the world. I'm Wolf Blitzer. You're in the Situation Room. The former National Security Advisor who was fired for apparently lying about his Russia contacts.
Out front, the breaking news. The jury deliberations beginning tomorrow in the case of Kyle Rittenhouse, the armed teenager who killed 2 people, injuring a third. Was it self-defense? We're about to hear a jury's verdict. Plus, President Trump's advisor, defender, and supporter, defiant after his court appearance on criminal contempt charges. Steve Bannon calling it the misdemeanor from hell. And President Biden set for a high-stakes meeting with the president of China, set to begin momentarily this hour. Let's go out front. And good evening. I'm Erin Burnett. Out front tonight, the breaking news. It is in the hands of the jury.
Well, this feels familiar. I'm Michael Smerconish in Philadelphia. COVID, it seems, has taken another turn for the worse.
In contempt, Steve Bannon indicted for ignoring a subpoena from Congress. Will other ex-Trump aides think twice about following his lead?
It sends a real message to all the others who have been subpoenaed. They've got to come and tell the truth.
Plus, the president set to sign his bipartisan infrastructure bill into law.
The American people said they sent us here to make their government work. They sent us here to make a difference in their lives. I believe we're doing that.
But voters say they're focused on a different problem: inflation.
No more Starbucks, no more like, ooh, those shoes are cute. It's like, okay, I have to get to work, I have to have gas.
And new threats of violence against members of Congress. It's coming from angry constituents and from each other.
It is never acceptable. It can't be acceptable. I don't care if it's a Republican or a Democrat.
Inside Politics, the biggest stories sourced by the best reporters now.
And welcome to Inside Politics Sunday. I'm Caitlin Collins, in for Abby Phillip. A legal earthquake here in Washington with 4...
Viral blizzard. The winter surge is here as the Delta and Omicron variants drive U.S. cases to new highs.
We are looking at a winter of severe illness and death for unvaccinated.
President Biden's chief medical advisor, Dr. Anthony Fauci, and New Hampshire Republican Governor Chris Sununu are here. And Build Back later, Congress heads home for the holidays with little to show on President Biden's key priorities.
A 50-50 Senate sucks and we can't get things done.
Can Democrats resolve to get it done in the new year? I'll ask Bernie Sanders and Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley exclusively next. Plus, aggressive strategy? Damning texts shed new light on the push to overturn the 2020 election. One of only 2 Republicans on the January 6th Select House Committee, Congressman Adam Kinzinger, on where the investigation goes from here ahead.
Hello, I'm Jake Tapper in Washington, where the state of our union is expecting to get COVID. Once again, Americans are waking up to news of postponements and cancellations.
This is GPS, the global public square. Welcome to all of you in the United States and around the world. I'm Fareed Zakaria, coming to you live from New York. Today on the program, Russia, China, Iran. President Biden's biggest foreign policy headaches are only getting bigger.
Democracy needs champions.
Putin puts forth red lines on Ukraine. Beijing reacts angrily to America's diplomatic boycott of the Olympics. And Washington and Tehran seem far from a deal. I'll talk to Ann Applebaum and Ian Bremer about it all. Then, Germany's Merkel era ended with a song. And now the Scholz era has begun. What to expect from Europe's richest and most powerful nation? I'll ask an expert. Also, Syria descends into a narco state as the New York Times reports its top export now is illegal amphetamines. I will talk to one of the reporters about that harrowing story. Finally, does the Nobel Peace Prize need a rethink? I'll explore. But first, here's my take.
Hey, I'm Brian Stelter, live in New York, and this is Reliable Sources, where we examine the story behind the story, and we figure out what's reliable. This hour, was it the worst week in Fox News history? I'll explain how Sean Hannity and Laura Ingraham, caught up in 2 scandals, how it's all actually linked together. Plus, breaking news about Joe Manchin and the fate of the Build Back Better bill, a clear setback for President Biden. And on a week of setbacks for Biden, the vice president is speaking out. You have to see what happened in this interview with Charlemagne the God. Oliver Darcy, Claire Atkinson, Carl Bernstein, many more coming up. But first, another COVID surge and a new set of questions.